My video there got interrupted because I'm waiting my car payment. Surprise, surprise. It's tough, man. It's tough working for a startup company making dick money. But that's not important right now. What is important? When you are used to eating, the shit that you buy at the grocery store every single day, even if it's grass fed or free range or whatever, which is a little bit better yet, but ultimately it's not even close to what we're designed to be eating. As the apex predator, when you put a fresh striper in your body, when you put fresh venison, fresh moose, fresh elk, I can only imagine. I've never been lucky enough to have a fresh elk, but I will someday. When you put that stuff in your body, it's almost like a drug that your body is just never experienced or has only experienced a few times. And I don't like to use that as a reference, but I think it'll make sense to a lot of people. Not to say that everybody's a drug addict, but it's just, your body's like a fresh venison steak. Your body just sucks up all that nutrients. It's like, holy shit. Where has this been? Where has this been for the last, 20 years? Where is this coming from? Why am I just experiencing this now? This is what I have needed all along. Like, that's what I feel like when I eat a fresh venison steak. So for me, it's not about living that lavish lifestyle and driving around in a $200,000 sports car. Although I'm sure that would be fun for a time. I think that would, very quickly kind of run its course. For me, it's basically making enough money to be able to buy my freedom, to be able to live a simple life that involves hunting, fishing, building a house, and growing my own garden of vegetables with non-Monsanto seeds, and getting a dog and all that stuff. So and experiencing life. I'd like to travel a little bit. I'd certainly like to travel a little bit, but I think more importantly, I yearn for a simple life with human and life experience, as a genuinely free human being. So that's really that's everything that I've done with crypto. Everything that I continue to do is all for that. It's not out of greed. It's not for power. It's not for anything like that. It's about this desire, this need for me to be able to one day live this simple life that I so desperately desire. And it's really as simple as that. With that said, I wanted to talk about a few things that I believe are going on as the dog in the background starts barking. And I did just say get a dog. Technically, it's my sister's dog, although I basically take care of the thing. Love him to death. I think there's some things going on in the crypto markets that are very new. There's a lot that's kind of always new in crypto. So over the last few months, we've seen the price go crazy in both directions, up and down, sideways. And so when I say Bitcoin, I am referring to Bitcoin. I'm kind of referring to the entire market. Predominantly, I'm going to be referring to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, which I consider to be the big three. I believe everybody should have some of those three. The proportion of which is entirely up to you. Personally, I'm heavy Litecoin right now. I used to not have any Litecoin and was very heavy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Recent events and I think future, at least on my part, future predictions and analysis have just leaned me towards the Litecoin, at least for the time being. But over the past few months, I think there's been a little bit of manipulation that has gone on in the crypto market. I think the big money is playing a little bit of a game. and there was a really good analogy that was used, I want to say like a month and a half ago. I heard it from Tiho, the Arcane Bear. Shout out to you, Tiho. You do great work, man. I watch, very regular watcher of, I guess, consumer of your content. I think you do an excellent job and provide great value. Please keep up the great work. And I think you're just I think you're a quality dude. And I'm yearning to pursue a similar lifestyle to the one that, you are currently living. So big shout out to you, man. Keep up the great work. I think you're one of the better, one of the top guys, one of the top crypto voices in the space. So much appreciated. But I heard from Tio about a month and a half ago that, all us little guys, and I mean basically non-institutional money, the guys with with their small, little bag of crypto, like myself, are like hanging up in this tree, like, we're like monkeys in this tree. And, these bigger institutional guys are now coming in and they're like King Kong, and they're coming into the tree and they are shaking it with everything they got to try to weed out all the weak hands. If you can't hang on during this crazy turbulent time, you're going to drop off, fall out of the tree, and your bag is going to be sucked up by the king, by King Kong, by the big guys. So I think that, right now we're still going through it because it's been uncharacteristic, in my opinion, a little bit uncharacteristic price movement, for Bitcoin and the big three of late. It smells a little funny to me. I do think there's some manipulation going on. So I think it is, that's the best example that I can think of is, King Kong shaking the tree, all the little guys with their bags holding on for, as long as they can, and a lot of them just kind of falling off around you. And, I've seen some of my friends be those smaller monkeys, who fall out of the tree. And, most of them will call me and talk to me before they decide to jump ship or to buy more, or before they decide to make a move. And I try to be as straightforward and unbiased with them as I possibly can. And these are people I care about. These are people I actually genuinely give a shit about. Unfortunately, I think a few of them recently have their sentiments towards crypto has changed, and if I start talking too deep into conspiracy theory, they're probably going to think I'm crazy, and I don't want that, and I don't want this to be to turn it. So I have to be somewhat careful in how I present it. But anytime I have a buddy, someone close to me that says that they sold off, especially if it's not at a good time, because of course there's time to take profits, but they basically sold off, cutting their losses. It hurts me. It hurts me a lot because it's just I see it's basically what I see is that big, the big institutional money, the powers that be that are, dipping their hands in this game. I just see them basically like just sucking that bag of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, or whatever else they were holding, just sucking it into their massive stockpile. And I just hate that. I hate that. So I think there's a bit of manipulation, and I think they're going to drag this shaking of the tree out for as long as they possibly can. I don't know how much longer it can go, but I think they're going to do it as long as they can. And then I think, we'll see another crazy run up because, it'll just hit a tipping point, and there's nothing, when Bitcoin hits its tipping point, there's nothing that can stop it. I mean, the number of attempts to halt this thing in its tracks to date is unbelievable. It's got to be, it's a countless number of very powerful people, institutions, organizations that have tried over the years to bring this thing to a halting stop and have just failed every single time. Because ultimately, Bitcoin is like that. Bitcoin is just, I see it as the voice of the people. It's the wild, wild west of supply and demand. And when there is a thing, whatever that thing may be, that people recognize as being a valuable thing, people are going to want to get that thing, to want to get their hands on that thing. And over time, it's going to, that thing is going to, knowledge of that thing is going to spread, awareness is going to spread. And then what follows that, if it's a really good thing, is demand. So I think it's only a matter of time. Bitcoin itself will weather the storm. And then it's a matter of us small bag holders of being, of having strong enough hands, of being, having enough intestinal fortitude to be able to weather the storm that we're currently in. Because it will pay off for us eventually, but we just have to be patient. We have to be smart, and we have to be not emotional. We need to not make emotional decisions when it comes to this kind of a thing. So it was a little bit of a long video. Again, it was my first one. I hope it was of some value to somebody. I wanted to give you my background right away, and I won't be doing that again. So now it'll be content about the markets, about things that are happening in crypto, the way I see them, and maybe I'll fill in my backstory a little bit along the way, but I won't spend 10, 15 minutes talking about that again. Oop, as I drop you, as I slide down, because I don't exactly have anything more than my phone right now to work with. But I hope that was of some value to somebody. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section below. I'm not ever going to tell you to like or subscribe, because I think you can do that on your own if you really want to. I don't really care. I'm just kind of putting this together, see how it goes. So questions in the comments below. And if there's any good content that you guys like out there that you think I would like, please also tag me in that on Instagram if it's out there. Also, put it in the comment section on YouTube. I'm always curious to see what else is out there. I know there's more and more guys that are putting stuff together in the space. So I'm always willing to, or I'm always eager to consume more quality content pertaining to crypto. So if there's anything out there, please let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.